Hey, good morning, everyone. Let's get some charts up here. How much we need to say about what's new. There isn't much, but we got what we thought would happen yesterday, and it was pretty much a go nowhere kind of a day. It started out how it was, coma-like beginning, and it continued that way with some gyrations along the way. So, could see it, Dan. Yeah, they're up now. Um, yeah, so look, overall, I haven't even gotten to the questionable sectors yet, but overall, what looked good or bad, just based on the kind of price action that was yesterday, it probably looks exactly the same. Nothing really looked terribly bad. It just looked questionable. So we'll start with the Qs today. The ETF. It's in an uptrend, right? Daily, weekly's in an uptrend. Had the red bar ignored. And it's just so for the moment, slowly drifting down toward minor support. Major support is way down here. This advance, while I don't know, we use the word bipolar, schizophrenic, red, green, red, green, red, green, and so on. It just kind of did a stair step kind of step and stumble. Let's call it like step and stumble advance to a new high. And it's just drifting very systematically, quietly, small ranges toward the support area. And when that happens, the next thought is buyers are going to show up. So we're waiting. We're waiting for some type of a turn. And I'll tell you, even this is bullish. And you hear my hesitancy in my voice is that even though this is bullish, these kind of pullbacks that are so close to the prior high, they're not that attractive versus not that it can't continue, but there are certain patterns that accompany drifts like this that make buying them much more reliable, and that is not there yet. So we're waiting. I guess we're waiting for Powell to speak, the Jackson Hole thing, and what's he going to do? All right, everybody's going to be listening. Is he going to cut? And there's conflicting information. So, is it going to be a political thing or what's he going to do? So we're all waiting. All right. IWM, slow, going nowhere. Here's a 65-minute. It's just consolidating after a momentum move. And like we always do, right, once it starts to form pivots, we know that buyers are stepping in right here, and they're going to step in when it comes down to that area, and it's going to step in when it comes down to that area. And eventually, they're either going to become more aggressive and push it higher, or it breaks down. Right? And breaking down from this time frame, and it's one of the things I said yesterday was as we looked at these consolidations, I said if it breaks down, that'll present opportunities for intraday traders, but it's not going to be any big deal from a daily chart perspective. So not much happened yesterday. It was an inside day, a narrow range day, coma-like trading. No one was interested. Trump was talking to Zelensky and the rest of the world and whatever you all saw or heard what was going on. So nothing definitely resolved, but so people are waiting, right? We're going to get the cut. We're not going to get the cut. I guess more of the focus, the political BS that's going on. Well, I shouldn't say it that way. People are getting killed, but yeah, was Biden's stupidity and war and the rest of there were Republicans there. I don't want to get in a political argument, but plenty of the other side that love spending money on stupidity. All right. Transports. All right. We have the sell setup. They flip back up, slowly drifting down. I like this setup, meaning you had a failure pattern. It's drifting down. It cleared the moving averages. We just need to see it start moving up, and we have an opportunity there. So whether you're trading one of the ETFs or stocks within the index that would look attractive, There you go. That's what we'd be looking for. All right. Bitcoin down on support, pivot low. There's going to be buyers here. The reversal was pretty aggressive to the downside. Let's see what it's going to do. There's no signal yet. Yes, it looks different because it has IWT has about 50 stocks in it. Transportation index has 20 stocks. That's why it looks different. Okay. Yeah, XTN. You could look at XTN. Thank you, Alex. All right. So Bitcoin, we're waiting. Gold continues in the middle of the trading range, tiny little ranges. Right. This is like, call it summer doldrums. Let's call it, no one's interested. No one is interested in doing anything one way or another, whether it's gold or equities for the moment. Silver, little tiny ranges, little tiny candle bodies. There's no interest. Let's look at crude oil, slowly drifting its way down. Right? Look to the left. There's pivots down there. Can still move lower. And so this was a significant bottom area, or let's just call it a value area where whoever's interested in buying oil thought it was cheap. Now, down at the bottom, to the bottom there, it's pretty far. So does it violate this pivot? So, right now I have no interest in it. It's just too quiet. That kind of pattern that interests me. But so far, it looks like it could drift lower. It had a chance to stabilize there. It did. It popped up and it failed. All right. Let's take a look at just the mid caps and we'll take a look at technology. As I created this page, some of the stuff's coming in a little slower. While I'm waiting for that, you can see the internals here. They're neutral, so they don't give us any edge. Right? So irrelevant for the moment. All right, so deep retracement, drifting down, waiting. Semiconductors made a new high, drifting down. Everybody's waiting. Same story. It's kind of boring. Yesterday was boring. Yesterday was a good day for show your discipline, not to press stupid buttons, but not a setup. All right. So financials, big nasty bar last Friday, held there today. You can see the head and shoulders top. This is one of the things, as far as the bullish case goes, we'd like to see fail as a distribution pattern, and it starts moving higher. Right? It's great when they start firing on all cylinders. Right? It's almost like throw a dart and things will work. Software, deep retracement, just hanging down here, little to no interest, right? Chopping around. Microsoft broke a little further to the downside. Maybe Dan will speak about that. There was a trade on that. There's an unfilled gap down here you should be aware of if you're looking at this. And yeah, let me get to, here's futures and I'll get to SPX. Same story here, like bullish move up, drifting down. All right. Look at how tight this range is going sideways. It's just, call it uncertainty, summer doldrums. There's nothing to do here. I mean, the range, even overnight range, is just so tiny. There's just nothing. So here's from yesterday where I said, well, if it breaks down, and it didn't break down, and it just did nothing. All right, frog in a blender pattern, commission generator, boring trading day. We just have to wait for everyone to get back in the game here, come back from vacation. Energy sector that had a rejection. And it was a nice green bar on Friday, and turned into a topping tail. Uh, Now, biotech, if you trade biotechs, I mean, they're moving. So we don't swing trade biotech stocks because of the risk. I mean, there's a tremendous reward, but anyway, a lot of the lower price biotech stocks were moving yesterday. But not they're fine for intraday trading, but you know, you never know when some news comes out and you get a little bit of a financial spanking with those nasty spankings you can get. All right, KRE was another one that found some buyers. The breadth expanded. That was this move over here. And so I got these lines from previous conversations where the S&P was going up and the breadth was declining, and that whole conversation about we need to see the other laggards kick it in, or this historically this type of alignment of breadth and the S&P results in this coming down. So we got the expansion. You can see my cursor over the regional banks there, which would be the same pretty much almost no matter what we look at, maybe not software. And you know, that pop up. So we're waiting. And then, breath coming down to the zero line after a pop, most of the time it results in some attempt to move up. So no matter how I cut this and look at this, we're basically in a holding pattern, waiting for whatever everyone else is waiting for. Mm. Interest rates, same story. Nothing happening there. All right. So extending the trading range. Is it a top? It looks like a top, right? But this isn't an uptrend. If it breaks these lows, day trading, you can short them. Buyers are going to be down here. That's the assumption that we make. It's not a prediction. It's in an uptrend, right? Resistance becomes support somewhere in here. Now, there's going to be buyers. Now, the longer it stays up here, right, the greater the possibility that it could be driven down, because the psychology of this pattern is this is bullish. Buyers keep coming, whatever the uncertainty is, and the assumption is it'll keep going higher. So that accumulation can become supply and maybe drive it a bit lower than you normally might think possible, right? But we've got pivots down here. In any event, there's differences between when you get rounding or square tops versus V tops. So basically, essentially unchanged. And yesterday was like, okay, that's too close, you know, yesterday, but it never even got close. Never even got into the prior bar. So where are we today? It should be interesting. Let this fill in. Before on. So going nowhere brought this up. And brought this down. So tightening up. On top of the bar there. So close again. Relatively close. So the no-brainer setups come when there's a wide range bar like that, or a gap. Things go haywire. But they're tight here. So find your comfort level or intraday points of entry. To you, Dan.
Good morning. Yeah, yesterday was very slow, but we still, as always, found nice trades. Switch this. And Greg, this XTN, whatever you were showing, I don't know if it was futures, look fantastic. But when I look at XTN, there's no great bullet.
That's an ETF. I was looking at the transportation.
Right, whatever you're looking at, I'm saying that was the best looking one. All right, alarms. It's always charter. We have a put spread in this. I had an up alarm go off. It's also a directional, but when I trade something like this and it's just going sideways, I want more of an event bar, something more igniting. So the put spread's totally fine, but I'm not convinced yet for a directional. AIRO, a recent IPO, looks great. Someone in the room mentioned it yesterday, and I said, yeah, can buy it today over the high. I mean, this is such a great example of supply and demand and where support and resistance is. Yeah, most IPOs get wild because of just the excitement of an IPO and idiots rushing in. This looked like it was going to continue, made a new low, igniting, retest, took out this prior pivot high, closing breakout. Looks great now. It's perfect. Tango Hotel. I had an up alarm go off. Shoot. Wow, look at this gap. This was in the weekend letter and it did not trigger by 1 penny. Look at that. Yesterday's high was a dead penny on Friday's high. So shoot, now we got to cancel that. Yeah, it's too bad we were not in it yesterday. Then we would have a few. I'd be selling half right now, pre-market. Yeah, messed it up. We have a lot of opens, so Carvana, we did a put spread yesterday, and I like this directional now over yesterday's high. Looks great. The CMG we bought yesterday. It's doing nothing there. Those were on my alarms. I'm still watching JVGS. Um, you know what? I'm going to keep an alarm, but let's cancel that because I don't like the entry now. And we have ENR, but it's still a retest, so I still like it a lot. I just don't like the entry over last week's high. So let me set a lower alarm at 20 spot 10. Now maybe we do half over yesterday's high. I don't know. I'll just set an alarm. Play it by ear. ENR. Nope, let's cancel that. It looks like it's going to make a new low. Earnings now. We're at the bottom of the barrel. There's a couple of big retailers out this week. Home Depot was this morning. Let's say nothing. We're going. And I considered selling puts on this yesterday, but I didn't like the premium. But climb up, a little hook pattern, 187, nothing to do with it. Blink. That's what, all your long list? All right, Blink. I actually bought some $1 calls as a little lottery ticket for September. Because I only paid a penny or whatever I paid. But that's doing nothing. All right, Dolly, let me type these out and we'll come back to them. Let's see, Kessler. See, R, do you mean Robalex? Wait, what's, oh, for arcade, do you mean Rocket Lab? Yeah, okay. All right, let me finish this. We'll come back. X-ray Papa, 1660, no pattern. Foxtrot November, Ugly Gap, 287. It's in the middle of no man's land, but I have it here in the middle chart. We'll see what it does. WDS, it's rolling over, nothing. Keys, no pattern, opening flat. Now that had you sold a Condor, for example, out of the money put spread, out of the money call spread, that looks like it would have been a home run trade. Sequinome, it's working on a bull rectangle. I just don't like them far from the 20. I don't see any prints. Lazy Boy, this is Sam's company. Three pennies. So Sam, that's quite an improvement. You're you're giving up 3 pennies from the last quarterly earnings. Earn, no pattern. Okay, I had some more here, pre-market. Medtronic. Now, had this open flat or up a little bit? Oh, it is? I had it on my list before. Hmm. Medtronic would have been a beautiful long, but now, wow, that's a nasty gap. So we'll come back to it. Lazy Boy. Yeah, it's actually after the market. Alex, you know why? You know why it's after the market? Because Sam's too lazy to get up to do an earnings conference call. So we should have known that. Wow, the same trades like it has no volume. I immediately went down to look at volume. To break out daily, weekly, monthly, but anything that has spots on a 15-minute chart, I just have no interest in. So even if it has volume, that to me says, okay, you got a couple of people buying bigger share size, but you don't have the frequency throughout the day. So, I will come back to it for the fun of it. This is gapping down 38.50. Looks bad, but no pattern. All right, there's our Home Depot up 401. That's just not a good pattern. You know, it's a mess. I don't know what to do with that. XPEV. All right, this is a little interesting. It's gapping over the red bar. I mean, the weekly is still a mess, but look at the monthly. Is it breakout and consolidation with a void? You know, I think it can come up here, 24, 25 bucks. So that I'm going to keep on my list, but I just don't have a strategy right now to enter. Oh, or Towie, I just saw your note here on BTU. BTU. I don't, well, I see a gap in here. I don't like the way it came down. It's not in a controlled manner. So best case scenario, maybe 30-minute high. Vic. $57, no pattern. Now compared to this DCI or Tawi, see that this one came in a V fashion and reversed on minor support. Greg mentioned this right around here yesterday. And I said, yeah, it looks like a great day trade too. Because you had daily 15 in alignments. SFL, no pattern, you're going. Oprah. That I love new low reversals like this. Look at this 180 after new low and a void. I mean, but for earnings, that would have been a beautiful buy yesterday. But here it's gapping up too much. But write this down, you all. I mean, it's not a textbook climb. Oh, really? Thanks, Greg. Yeah, I'm on my new computer today, so if I'm flopping some things around. And Greg, I also saw a button when I took over the screen. It was a button that said allow sharing or something like that. So I assumed that meant that you and I could show our screens together. All right, here's a Climo. So it's gapping down, but maybe 10-minute low. I'm talking about Climos. I posted a Reddit as a call spread. That's a power move right there, but it's tired. It's tired. It's far from the 20. So I wouldn't really swing short it. I would day trade for sure, but we're doing it as a call spread under yesterday's low. Intel's back in the news. Rumors of all right. All right. All right. Intel back in the news, but we already know they're saying Trump. I don't. Mindy, I had an alarm. Hey, Alex, look, another change I need your help with. This data is too friggin' close to this line. But we'll deal with it later. All right, so this could be a 30-minute high. I know there's no, there's no weeklies. There's no weeklies for a put spread. Alarms. Mindy. Oh, that was Mindy. Reddit. All right, so Reddit's a go if you get filled. Market's slopping around, but well, Diamond's hourly looks the best. I think the Qs and the spiders are both, and even the IWM are vulnerable to a breakdown on the hourly. Kava. Why is my Kava alarm going on? This was like, it's going to be a put spread, but it did not trigger. Wait, I don't see Kava. Why? All right, I'm getting confused. Is Kava a trade? Yeah, over 70.50. Okay, so that's a bad alarm. So, Netflix, Google selling off, Microsoft selling off. Yeah, Greg mentioned Microsoft. We did a call spread yesterday, but we made 50% of max profit, so we took our money in one day. But yeah, it looks like we're doing the breakdown scenarios, spiders, cues. I didn't think it would be happening this aggressively within 5 minutes. Battle on the Kava. All right, so Reddit 260, 265. See what the Q says. 260, not 360. 260, 265. Right now is 29. So we're not getting filled. AMD, yep, yep, semis. Transport's ripping here though. Transport's ripping. XAR, military, might be, looks like it's topping out. Deck, I had posted a put spread, so that's a go. If you get filled. DCI, DCIs. Oh, it is a liquid iron, but yeah, it's extended 15. So ideally we get a 1, 2, 3. The pattern of DCI was nice. All right, arrow hasn't triggered. But arrow looks even better. We got a 1, 2, 3. This Foxtrot November out in the middle of no man's land. XPath has to settle down. But let me check the spread. It would have to be the 1950. And it's 27 cents, but there's no reason to enter right now. It has to settle down. Mo is up more. Mo looks good. Bio's up a few pennies. This little bitter is still having a hard time getting going. Just like his cousin. Sezzle, remember we talked about yesterday that it can't make the turn. JB Hunt, yeah, it'll be 30-minute high. Not a huge target though. That's a problem. So I don't not crazy about it for a swing, but for put spread or day trade. Those are all the alarms. Let me go through opens. Weekly options trader. This bull and this thing trades wild. We have a put spread. Our charter's fine, doing nothing. We have a Carvana put spread. Walking around. Netflix. We did a put spread yesterday. And directional. So that looks good. Set new alarms, 2460. Netflix, a bit of put spread coming in. But it's fine for a put spread. Yeah, it's a bull rectangle. Yeah, I like it. I will set an alarm. Alarm 9:33. Electronic. It's a mess, but let me check. Check put spread for Friday. I don't know, premium. Oh, bid app I'm in from yesterday. Oh, that was nice. I bought calls on that yesterday. Let me reset the alarm. Um, here you go. You asked me about this pre-market STM. I think you can buy that over 2620. I like. It's a pseudo inverse head and shoulder with a smaller right shoulder, but it's still, I still like it. Set alarm 2621. And diamonds flying here. What's making diamonds go? Home Depot up 16. Yeah, Home Depot's ripping. So check his cousin Low. Wow, Low's been outperforming. McDonald's It's Home Depot. Hey, McDonald's breaking out. McDonald's looks good. Earnings 10/28. Let me if this were to close like this, it's a long tomorrow with today's time. So let me check put spread now. 307.50 or 305. You would have to do the 307s. And $5 wide is 59 cents. So not bad. If you trust that this bar is going to hold, let's put it here. Let's see if it does in the first 30 minutes. Sam, you cook. Sam was cooking the books last night. MGC. I don't like the way it trades intraday, but it's a grinder. A Mondelez alarm. Hey, Mondelez finally. Let's see if it closes strong. Or you know what? Well, let's wait till after 3. Because the cues are breaking down. So, it could be the safety kind of stock if the markets are breaking down. Mondelez 61 puts for Friday. 10 cents. Are you crazy?
PLTR is entering a gap fill. Set an alert there around $160. Give her into that support. It should turn in the coming days.
Pelletier?
PLTR, that's the name.
Pelletier. Yeah, Alex told me they got some short sellers going after them.
It's in a solid uptrend. It'll bounce at some point. Been falling for 5 days.
Yeah, no, it's on my list. I told him I was shocked that it wasn't damaged more in pre-market.
Qs are getting closer to support, and they've been drifting lower on 65-minute.
Donald's staying strong. Mondelez, Netflix, and Google getting hit. But we have Amazon coming in. Ash alarm. Ash not ready, top of the range, but bullish price action. EST hitting our stop. We had a put spread. As soon as this thing entered, remember I said it wasn't acting right. ETD, I'll set a new alarm at 55. Should not hit. But this would be a nice 1, 2, 3 for tomorrow now. Deck is holding. Actually, let's buy 30-minute high because it shouldn't trigger. I gave a put spread. Yeah, yeah, there's a topping better. Wow, McDonald's is still ripping. I was waiting for around 30 minutes before I do a put spread, but McDonald's is a nice breakout. So 255 call spread. Not enough juice unless you did 250. No, 252 should be okay. $5 wide, 50 cents. Yeah, let's do that. CNC. It's 52 now, 54. CNC target. Yeah, yeah, the grinder. But you don't know. But yeah, I just go into trail mode. CC, what kind of sloppy bull rectangle?